There we are.
Live action.
We are live, buddy. Y'all give us a comment, please, and let us know you're watching and you can hear us. And there's 3 people watching already.
Good deal.
Hopefully y'all can hear us fine, I hope. Somebody will comment here in just a second. Let us know there. There's Holden. Can you hear us fine? Good. There's Holden right there. I spoke with him I don't know if it was this weekend or first of the week.
Going on, Holden?
He called me. He called the screen like mine.
Uh-oh.
His screen was like that. He was loud and clear, Mr. Sunny Moon. He said, how you doing? Bill Lolly's on. Holden said we sound good. John and Jessica along with myself. Y'all doing good over there, John?
Doing good, man. I got to talk to Sonny offline about something funny.
Yeah, there you go.
I want to send him a message.
He's tuned in, buddy. It been raining down there today, John?
Yeah, man. I'll go ahead and get this out of the way since it's not crappie fishing related or fishing related. I got up this morning, started trying to cut grass at 6:30. Between the lawnmower breaking and the rain, I finally got done cutting grass at about 3 o'clock. It was terrible. Oh man, nothing went right today.
I know how those days go.
No fishing.
No fishing.
Trying to cut grass and work on lawnmower.
Yep. There's old Corey Newby out of Rome, Georgia. He's tuned in. We got 40 people already cranked up already. Awesome. Been on here a minute. Guys, we're going to probably go along the show, and about halfway through, we're going to draw the winners. I guess John and I and Jessica just discussed it. So.
Oh, we got it. We got everybody in the cup.
Yeah. John, I was actually going to start doing that, and John called me. He goes, there's old Shiloh. He goes, man, I got the names cut out. I said, ooh, that's some work. It's 200 and something names, 220, something like that.
No. It's I had to do some more.
There you go.
Because when I did it, some more got added to it.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Hey.
I think so it was 222. It's like 230. I think we had 237 shares.
That's awesome. So the odds ain't too bad. 2 people out of 230. That's gonna be good. There's old country cousin Greg. He's tuning in. Shiloh's in. James Trott, Ricky Price, old Don Philpott, Blake McDaniel's on. Appreciate Slab Busters.
I'm recognizing all these names. I had to write them out to put them on the slip.
Yeah.
And
Bill Clark, he just messaged me. You alive yet? I said, we got a few minutes. Oh, Ronnie McKenzie from Miller Ferry. Oh, Don Gartman's here. James said he's eating fried crappie right now. He just caught it. Sorry, thing. I hear you.
Man.
Mr. Chad Gillen's in the house. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We got 45 people, 47. Doing good. We'll Charlie Rice said he's watching from New Orleans tonight. I hear you.
Oh man. He's down there with some real good food.
There he is. 52 people, man. This thing's jumping already. Been on 3 minutes, man. Y'all are awesome. I appreciate y'all.
We got them in the outlaw crappie hat now. She just dumped them in there.
7:30, guys, and draw the names to the winners. Oh, Melvin Sasser. I got a fishing trip with him Saturday. I'm looking forward to hanging out with him.
There will never be a dull moment in that trip.
He keeps me laughing, but I enjoy fishing with him. I don't care if we catch a brim. We have fun, man. It's him and old Richard. It's going to be awesome. Old Michael Hobson, one of my old co-workers, is on here. Hey, Mike. 54 people. Man, that's awesome, guys.
Shane, who's Mel got coming with him?
Oh, Richard, one of his buddies. They fished with me a few months back. We went in the spring. We had a blast, man. We had a good time. Oh, Scott Mitchell's on here. Evening, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Oh, Scott told me a little incident where he was culling his fish while in that tournament. He had I don't quote me on it. I think he had a 105, was culling up to a 145 or 155 and went to cull, and it flopped around and went in the water.
God.
Oh, man.
That is a big loss right there.
Yeah, he said, if I'm not mistaken, he said it cost him tournament. He wasn't too frustrated, but he told me about it.
He got didn't
he? He did. He had a 221, a big whitefish. Bill Clark's asking a question here, John. Who's the contact for Outlaw Rods? Need to get them in Georgia. You need a message.
Hey, Bill, send me a message on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I will get that worked out for you, buddy.
Yeah. Scott Mitchell said he lost by 0.21.
Yeah, Scott, you lost it because dang,
that's awful. Oh, Mr. Billy Canada's on tonight, my old buddy Billy. Appreciate Billy being on here.
Golly.
Yeah, it sucks. He had it, and the fish flopped in the water, man. That's awful. He was by himself. You know, his wife Kelly usually fishes with him, and he's probably culling and flipping fish around. And David Moyer, he's tuning in from YouTube. Hey, look at there, Mike Hudson. Hello from Paris, Arkansas. We reaching up in Arkansas, Razorback country. Oh, Brian Willis, I like that. I don't know. Don's asking the CT Ward still have the 5-foot rods. I don't know if they do or not.
The last time I talked to CT Ward, I think you told me they were sold out of the 5-footers. I don't know.
Yeah, I bought one, and then somebody else bought one.
They had it. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they got another order in or not. We need to find out.
We need to find out, Don.
Because I don't know what length rod that Bill Clark. Well, either way, he's in Georgia, but yeah, CT Ward. They had some, and we got to talking about them. They got to selling them. They got them here in Covington County, Andalusia, at Andalusia Marine, but.
There you go, South Carolina.
Yeah, but
that's awesome.
If anybody's interested in getting them in their area, just send me a message.
Yeah, y'all, Outlaw Rod, y'all send John a message. He'll get you in contact with somebody that's got them, man.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh, David T, I think he said hello from South Carolina. That's awesome. He's on YouTube.
Yep.
Oh, Bill Valentine, he's in on YouTube. Man, that's awesome. I guess we can go into a little old trip. John, Jessica had to work. She took on a new job. So John met me over in Grenada, Mississippi. We stayed at the slabbing cabin. So we had a blast, man.
Let's just start with that, Shane.
Yeah, let's just y'all enjoy this story, man.
The Rudolphs over in Grenada have built something amazing.
Oh yeah, I can.
They call it the slabbing cabin, and it's a cabin, but it's immaculate, man. I mean, the kitchen is amazing. The rooms are amazing. It's made for people to come and go fishing.
It's nice.
Got 2 beds in each of the rooms. The living room is huge. I mean, if you wanted to come and throw out an air mattress or something,
I wonder if I could share.
People coming with you. Man, they spared no expense when it came to building that place.
No, they done a good job, man. And John and I even told Stacy the towels are nice. They're thick towels. You can dry off with them, And she started giggling. I was like, I'm telling you, this place is.
Oh, y'all, the walls of the whole inside of the cabin are poplar. The bathrooms are cedar. You've got plenty of room to park your boat, plug it in, and you don't have to worry about it. You can leave your electronics on the boat.
That's right.
Park and say, hey, I'm ready to go fishing in the morning. If you go stay at some places are kind of sketchy that you could stay, like hotels and stuff like that. You got to take all your stuff off your boat, worry about your boat all night, get hooked backed up to it. You back up there, you back in, plug your boat in, truck's ready to go in the morning.
That's right. Yeah, we all got up and stumbled around and got, but I had Wheeler and Jake Brown and Shane Welts come over there and met me and John headed over there Friday and actually got on the water late that evening looking around. Wind was up and we talked to Eric and Eric said we might as well go to Enid's at the times because Grenada wasn't firing on all cylinders. So that's where we went. We had a blast, man. This is the picture we ended up catching. Now you got to realize that's 2 days worth of fishing now because the first day we hunted them, and then we kind of put together a pattern and John caught some and he had old Jake on the boat with him. There's one of the fish Jake caught right there. It was a nice fish. I think that was the last cast, wasn't it, John?
Yeah. Y'all had pulled out and I told Jake, I said, let's let them get over there to the boat ramp and we'll look around for one more. And I said, well, there it is. And I said, this is gonna be the last cast, bud. He tossed over and that fish turned up just like it's supposed to. did the deal, and I said, all right, that's a good way to end it.
Oh yeah, it was. It was an awesome trip, guys. We fished Enid in Mississippi, and then man, had a good time with Jake and everybody. We ate good. You know, stayed at, like I said, Stephen Rudolph's slabbing cabin. Him and Stacy slabbing cabin. It was awesome. We got it booked. I guess February. We're going back in February, so it's gonna be fun. I hope to go back before the end of the year. Let's see. Larry Trace is saying, "Where are you located?" He's on YouTube. He's in Oklahoma, west of Tulsa. Any recommendations on fishing Lake Keystone, buddy? We are from Alabama. You ever been to Lake Keystone? I haven't. I've heard of it.
I have not. I don't even know where to begin. What kind of water? What kind of lake system is it?
Yeah, is it dirty water, clear water, deep lake? Larry, I don't know. I'm not familiar with it. John said. Trent said Grenada's still fishing bad. I believe it, man. It's off right now for sure. Jameson Carr's on there. I see him on there. Let's see. Jameson the car, buddy. They had.
Oh my God!
I tell you, that was a conversation.
I love.
Yeah, we know Eric's like two baby brothers.
It is so fun when Jameson and Eric get going at each other.
Chuck Bean said, "Is the Warrior worth crappie fishing in this heat?" Up here, Chuck. Nah. Little south, Lock 8 down. Oh yeah, you can catch some fish. So, I like to fish down there, the lower end, but up here, oh Lord, no. Shiloh, he is tuned in tonight, buddy. He is ready.
Jessica and I are going on a trip Saturday. We're going
Lake Seminole.
Yes, all right, y'all going to Seminole. I know one of your
finally get to fish.
Yeah, she's don't jinx.
I know she's ready. It's been a while.
Yeah, the new job is kind of throwing a monkey wrench in her stuff, but we're gonna try to leave here about 3 in the morning and get over to Seminole and get after some of them. This isn't really the best time of the year to be over there, but we got some friends that have been going over there and doing real well. So
I know they've been catching some. That'd be awesome. That'd be a good story to talk about next week.
Yeah.
D. Robertson that owns Alpha Plumbing, he was putting a water line in the yard here. He said he started to hook up to my boat. By the time I pulled in, I should have got it. Somebody would see you.
That'd have been fun. That would have been funny if he would just moved it around in the yard.
Yeah, that's what he said, man. Oh, Shiloh said Jessica's gonna set the hook on them like the marlins and tuna. She's gonna be mad at him.
He knows her. Hey, and it's been a while. All right. So if it's been a while for Jessica fishing, I can tell you how it's gonna start out. Fish will be at 20 feet. She's throwing to 50. And the first one that bites is gonna get the lips removed.
She's the opposite of Jake.
Yeah. No, Jake. Yeah, Jake. We started calling. I don't know what we call Jake, but he would throw short every time. But we had a nickname for him.
Yeah.
When we were out on that trip this weekend.
Oh, Jake.
It wasn't a very nice name.
Oh yeah. Hey, Jake's a good old fella.
No, man, I had a lot of fun with Jake on the boat.
Oh yeah. Shiloh said he still don't have a boat. I guess he hasn't got his boat yet.
He ain't got it back, but he's getting done to is he's going.
Oh yeah, man. We got 83 people on here, man. That's awesome.
Man, I'm trying out a different prop tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I know you try not to mess with your boat a little bit. So
yeah, I've been playing with it a little bit. I got something different they had on the shelf, and I'll see how to run.
Yeah, Jim. Hey, Jim, congratulations on 5,000. We're almost at 5,100 now, Jim. We hit 5,000. There's old Luther. I seen Luther today picking up my old truck. They working on my old other Tundra. Let's see. There we go. Tara Michelle. I'm sure she's asking a question. Is it better to target roaming fish this time of year or target structure, catching a few big ones and run to the next structure?
That depends on where you're at. We got to fish in Mississippi this weekend, and we dealt with some roaming fish.
We did.
And then we went to a place the last day we were there, and I caught fish. I absolutely robbed one snake bed of everything that was on it. And they were just, those fish were feeding that were on that structure. But that was two different lake areas. The first Shane didn't mention the first day we got there late, and we put in on a Grenada, and I caught some fish on Grenada. Just like they said, it was very few. I mean, I was just running, and the wind was bad.
Oh yeah, it was white capping out there when we.
Yeah, it was really bad where I was at. I mean, my trolling motor was coming out of the water. I don't even know why they weren't all running off. If you'd been like somewhere like Darbone, they would have been shagging.
Yeah, but yeah, Tara, this time of year, man, I'm hitting all the above. I mean, all the questions you ask, I'm checking everything that I know of and try to put a pattern together for that day, man. Because to me, to be honest with you, the structure fish get messed with a lot. You know, people know, but hey, the Roman fish, you don't ever know how they're going to act. You just have to.
Here's another answer to her question.
Oh, Ray.
Is so the fish that I was messing with on structure, I would find something and I'd fish it until they wouldn't respond anymore. Then I'd run my live scope out to 100 feet or 110 feet, start slow scrolling. I'd see something and you could identify it with something, and then you could tell there was fish on it still, even at that far. And I would go into it, mess with it again, mess with those fish until they wouldn't be active, and then I'd run and run it way out till I found something else. And that was on a new body of water.
That's right. Well, I can share that picture you shared on your Facebook page, John. You're talking about the thermocline.
Yeah,
you can go ahead and explain this, guys. Y'all need to pay attention because this is something I'm learning about myself. So
this picture was kind of up close. It wasn't necessarily running and gunning, looking for structure, but these fish here are sitting right above a thermocline. And what happens when that thermocline sets in, those fish that like to sit on bottom, it makes them have to come off the bottom because there's less oxygen in the thermocline and below it. So it's pushed these fish up, in this particular case, up above it. And
you're right. That snow that looks like on the bottom screen, the bottom's another 4 or 5 foot down, guys.
Right.
That's what John's calling a thermocline right there.
Right. And this particular lake, the thermocline had set in at like 14 to 15 foot deep. And the fish out in that deeper water were above it. So you could run around and there were schools out there like this, and you could just bump along and mess with them. And I was finding those and dropping in on them, but the wind was kind of rough out there where they were at. So Shane and I kind of a couple times tucked back into something that was a little more protected. That was on the last day we were there.
Yeah, that lake was something. Had a ton of fish on it. Beautiful lake. I caught some bigger fish, but they wanted to be stupid. And to be honest with you, that goes to tell you, like John, you know, let me get this thing out of the way. John had the right jig head, the right bait, and everything for that lake. And I was looking for a smaller 1/8 ounce jig head. Man, I didn't have any. And those fish were nipping at my. And that just goes to tell you, you know, if you got to have everything in order. The right equipment, the live scope tuned in, because I had some Grenada tackle heads. Nothing wrong with those heads, but those blackfish and those, you know, those whitefish when they're being picky, that's something you don't want. You know, a bigger hook. You want that number. What is that? Number 6 and number 4, John? Isn't what's in those?
Those were number 6.
Yeah. So Limits Tackle, I got in touch with Steve this week, and he's actually they should be coming in. I've got some heads coming with that good keeper on them because, you know. Well, John, it was funny. John went towards the dam of the lake, and I'm looking around. He said, I got 13. I was like, hell, I ain't even dropped my trolling motor.
Well, see,
I really hadn't. John was already working on it.
I just want to show somebody go ahead. What I saw on the map. So we had, I'm going to draw the dam. All right, so basically.
I'll zoom it in right there.
Yeah, this was the dam right here.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 creeks that came in, and they came in together right here, and it flowed back out toward the dam. Well, in my mind, I was like, boy, there's a lot going on in this area right here. So I just got in front of the dam. And I said,
that's where you started. Right
there. There's 2 creeks that came in together out in front of it. And I looked on my map. I said, that just makes too much sense to me. So Shane was still putting his boat in. I just took off.
He did. He went straight to it. Todd's asking a question. I'll post this picture, and he wants you to tell more about what the thermocline is.
All right, Todd, what it is, when you start getting these hotter temperatures and the water temperature gets heated at the top, say 85 degrees and above, that colder water is more dense and it starts to fall out, and it makes a barrier because colder water is more dense than warmer water. So it bottoms it out. What happens, there's so much goes on during the summer in a water layer. You have matter all the time, organisms and organic matter dying and repopulating in the warmer layer. Well, all that stuff falls down to that cooler water, and that's going to be a lot of that particulate that you're seeing down there in the thermocline. Well, what happens is if you have a lot of rain and they're letting a lot of water through, it can cool that water back off and drop the thermocline or take it away. So let's just say we get in the dog days of summer and we don't have the rain and we go into a drought, then it's going to really establish that thermocline. That warm water is going to be up here. That cool water is going to be down here, and it's going to push those fish up above it. And the fish are chasing oxygen, the crappie are.
Yeah.
And the most oxygen is going to be just above that thermocline.
Yeah, I heard, Eric say while we was over there shooting the bull, he was saying a crappie and a shad's always trying to die. So they're all, they're real sensitive. So they're hunting the best oxygen. That's what Shiloh's asking you a question. Do you ever catch fish below the thermocline, or does it tend to be higher in the column towards the back of creeks or higher towards the main river?
Typically, when I'm messing with it, they're going to be right above it. I saw actually that particular school of fish that you've got in that picture right there. They went down in it, and I caught some of them out of it. But if they go down in it, it's usually not going to be very long. They'll come back out of it.
They'll pop right up. I noticed that when you told me that. You called me. He goes, "Hey man, some are hanging out in the thermocline and popping back up, and they're biting." And that's what I went and seen. So, yeah, that's a good topic. A lot of people don't know what that is. I really didn't. And I hear people having conversations about it. You're like, a lot of lakes. You're sitting down talking to Eric and yourself, and people don't understand that thermocline has a lot to do with whitefish, especially because it determines if they're going to stick down in the mud and you're not going to see them, or they're going to come up above and you actually start catching them.
So yesterday I went fishing here in South Alabama, and the lake I was on, it set in, and everybody knows how hard the black crappie can be when it gets really hot. Well, it was smoking hot, and the lake I was fishing on was about half and half. White crappie, half black crappie. 90% of the fish I caught was white crappie.
Right.
It just shows you during the summer, if you've got somewhere that's majority white crappie or it's a white crappie lake, that's where you want to hit if you want to bust you some numbers and and catch fish that are more willing to bite.
Right.
For some reason, those black crappie get a real bad attitude when it gets hotter.
They do, and they enjoy super cold water. They don't care. I mean, but those whitefish, like John's saying, you can find you some whitefish that want to bite. I mean, that they're enjoyable. This time of year, you can put together a good pattern on them. Tommy Keller, he said he
mostly black.
Yeah. That being said, we're going to Lake Seminole Saturday.
Going to mess. Hey, babe, they've been catching some nice blackfish down there in Seminole. I mean,
my buddy's been going out there and busting them up.
Tommy Keller said he finally put his transducer on his trolling motor. Should have done it a year ago. Yeah, we all been there, Tommy. We're not laughing at you. We're laughing with you because we know exactly. Everybody sees that pole and their concept's like, man, that pole would be nice when I spotlight my trolling motor, and they don't realize how much that boat moves and everything else. Let's see. Shiloh coming in with another question. Do you ever think the bottom will change the thermocline as in mud or rock? That's a good question.
I think the temperature changes mostly. I do know that the lake that I fished yesterday, I moved around the lake to different areas, and it did make a difference. I'm not going to necessarily say it was because of the bottom. It might have just been because of the flow, because we got a lot of rain. And some of the places I fished off of it might have been out of the flow. So, it could still be set in. that flowing water is pulling through, and it makes the water cooler. It's like,
you
it's
explained
like
last
this.
show, yeah.
It's kind of like this. You ever went swimming out
There you go.
in the lake, and then you went swimming in a creek that is flowing? You got flowing water. It's cooler. So,
especially you got lake it's got color to it. It's obviously going. The surface temperature is going to be way hotter than a clear lake. Like you said. Michael Clary's, how much further should you have your depth set to see the thermocline?
all right, the easiest way to find it's with down imaging. That I was showing was on forward facing sonar live scope, but it's not always the easiest to see unless it's like really set in on live scope. But if you turn on that down imaging, it's going to be a definite line. And then the thing about down imaging is, unless you've got it set to where you're set to a certain depth, you're always going to see it. So what I do is when I first get on the boat, I'll drive the boat out and away from the boat ramp, fall off in the river channel or whatever, and say, all right, there it is. And then, go from there. I was like, all right, so right now it's at 12 feet. So now I want to relate the structures I know that I normally fish are at that depth.
There you go.
The ledges that I know that are there, and that's kind of how I set my game plan for the day.
Right, and that's why we like summertime so much. Tara's asking, does thermocline only exist in the summer? That's the only time it's out, isn't it, Johnny?
Yes. Where it's very distinct.
Yeah, you can see it.
And then eventually, in the fall, it'll flip and everything will be top to bottom.
Yeah, it actually, when they call it turnover, right?
Turnover, that's right.
We'll be discussing that here in November, December. It's going to do it. So it's going to do it. We're almost halfway through the show, guys. Somebody's going to win a crappie trip. Two people are. It's going to be awesome. We're going to draw it at 7:30. We got 2 minutes, somewhere 2 minutes and 30 seconds. We're going to try to draw it. So there's 81 people on here. They want to know.
I might see if our youngest child is dressed and let him draw. I don't know.
He'll streak through there in his old Hanes, his tidy whitey.
Yeah, well, he comes in the house. Shoes are going one way, shirt, breeches.
Okay, off the thermocline deal. He said he's through with that. Shiloh is. What do you think the heavy? He said, what do you think the heavy rains and higher water will do to the fall bite? Do you think the shad is having a good spawn for the fall feed?
Man, the shad, the places I've been going, the shad hatch has been amazing.
It is. There is a ton of shad.
Golly. I like, she and I were hanging out on the sandbar upriver, and you could just look across all over the top surface. It was, and then you see
yeah. Well, when we was at the lake down there where we stopped Monday, I could see bass going through those shad balls, just whoa.
Yeah.
You could watch those bass just blowing them up.
Jake and I fished for a fish that was like sitting in a ball.
Yeah,
I've been come out of it and bust back through it, and I was sitting everything I knew down on the fish, and we couldn't get it to do. I mean, we went from casting to long pole, everything.
Yeah, I remember y'all saying you was trying to drop in on them.
It was very frustrating.
I'll make sure I hadn't missed any questions here. Let's see here. Tony Booker, hey, buddy. What's up, buddy? I seen him holding nest. Do you ever use shiners or straight jigs? I mean, we don't use a lot of minnows this time of year for sure. So
I always have them in the tournament, though.
I know.
Yeah, I always will have some shiners in the tournament because that's usually our last resort is dropping a shiner.
Making sure. Darian Jackson, appreciate you tuning in, buddy. I was making sure I didn't miss anybody. We got 83 people on here, man. That's the most we got. What's that?
He's checking on Creek to see if he's dressed.
Oh, see if he's, yeah, we're going to get Creek to draw if he's got his clothes on. Oh, man. Shiloh, we'll get to that question as soon as we draw this thing, man. He's got a good question, too. A lot of people wonder, about fall transition because it's coming. Chad Gillen said Neely is full full of bait this year and have saw a couple of years. There's a lot of shad, guys. I mean, there's no shortage of bait. Those fish ought to be just chewing them. John's going to see if he can get his boy here and Jessica's boy Creek. To see who's going to win this thing.
Trying to get us a name drawer.
Yeah.
Well, let him come here.
Yeah, shake it up real good. We're going to draw one name and announce it.
Shane, you going to do yours first or ours?
It doesn't matter. Hey, it doesn't matter. Just wherever you want to do it. There's old Creek. There's Johnny's boy, Jessica's boy.
This is our youngest son, Creek.
Hey.
So we're going. All right, this is gonna be for. I'm gonna mix them up.
Mix them up good. So who we drawing for? Your trip with you or me, John?
This is for Shane.
All right, this is a trip for me, guys. Let's see who wins this baby.
Get one piece of paper. Just one piece of paper. There we go.
You got one, huh, boy? Who we got there?
Don Philpott.
Don Philpott. There it is.
Don Philpott.
He's going fishing with me. He's on here watching. I seen it earlier.
All right.
Heck yeah. Congrats, Don.
All right. He's going to go with Jessica and I.
Yep. Who's going with John and Jessica? Pick one more there, Creeker.
Wendy Boggin Smith.
Wendy Boggin Smith.
Oh, as you can see it. Oh, yeah. Wendy.
There it is. I see it. There's Don Philpott. He said, good deal. He'll be ready.
Thank you, bud. You are
Appreciate it,
welcome. Creek's gonna be with me tomorrow.
Is he? He gonna he's out there with you?
Hey, Creek! Everybody saw your fish you got mounted in your room.
Sure did. We all seen
it. Thanks, Fry. Thank you.
Oh, Don. Don, just message me, buddy, and we'll get something planned. We're gonna try to do this thing in September, early October, something.
Do you know Wendy Boggin Smith?
I don't think I know her, but I have to look her up and see. Let's see. She shared it.
The answer is yes. We're coming to the
oh yeah,
outdoor.
Yeah, Scott's asking your question.
I'm glad Scott said Shane, let's talk about this right quick.
Yeah, we might as well Scott D. That reminds me, every time he comments, he's wanting to know if y'all come to Dippy Kids Outdoor Tournament. Yeah, oh, okay. That's Michael Smith's wife. Okay, well, heck.
Well, talking about Scott D. Scott D's is the man down here at the Coastal Alabama Community College, and they have a marine program for people who want to go in the marine industry to learn. They're actually a Yamaha university. If you want to learn how to work on Yamaha motors or do anything in the marine industry, they've actually got on their campus where you can go to college and learn how to work on a multiple amount of marine products, whether it be rigging boats or any marine electrical issues. And like I said, they're Yamaha universities. You could travel anywhere and work on Yamaha motors.
Yeah, and like John and I were discussing the last show, there's more boats out there now than there ever has been. So that's
absolutely.
That is a good future for some young or some guy that's about to retire, man. And may retire young, may want to get into something else, you know.
Oh girl.
Oh girl.
Oh girl. We one of the most valuable employees at Andalusia Marine is she's a female. She keeps those guys straight, and they need it, buddy. While we're talking about that, you know.
Yeah, you might as well thank Andalusia Marine while you're talking about it, buddy. Here, let me get the little thing up there, buddy.
Miss Tracy at Andalusia Marine, she keeps all the guys straight. If you're looking for they're known as a stick steer headquarters. They've got a stick steer from the front boats. It's a great crappie model boat if you want to push pull and crappie fish by yourself from the front. Express dealer. They've got veranda pontoon boats. Anything you can imagine and want to fish out of. If it comes to electronics, they're your rigging headquarters. They're good. And they're right here in Andalusia, Alabama.
I know they take care of you, John, because every time something comes up.
Jessica and I have been so fortunate to deal with those guys. They've been so good to us.
That's awesome. They are a good sponsor for us. I started laughing, guys. Wendy Boggin Smith said my husband is screaming with joy. That's awesome, man.
I don't know. He ain't got on the boat yet.
Hey, that's awesome. That is awesome. Man, that's awesome. But I'm glad he won right there, buddy. Don, and be getting with me, and I guess Michael Smith, his wife, shared it for him and won him a darn trip. Ain't that good?
Hey, she deserves like a spa pedicure, mani pedi. I couldn't think it. My mind was going crazy. Mani pedi.
Spa pedi. I was like, what is that, John? That's something new.
I said a pause. I was trying to put mani pedi together. I couldn't.
Yeah, hey, Michael, you go out to Ower. You know that when you catch a bunch of fish, we go catch a bunch of big white crappie. That's going to be interesting.
You can go too.
Yes, you can go too.
Yeah, man. Just, hey, come on there. Hey, we're going to have some fun. That's going to be a fun trip. Me and John, usually, we're not far. We'll be talking a bunch of mess to each other. We'll usually be seeing each other, so it's fun.
Yeah.
It is awesome. Man, we still got 80 people
I
in
wonder,
here.
does Wendy fish too, or?
I don't know. She might as well
You'll
come
have
on.
Try to comment.
Hey, let's see. Let's see if I got some questions.
We'll make it a competition between Wendy and Michael.
There you go. Let's see what Shiloh's talking about here. Fish the main, Coosa River looking for stumps in 10 to 20 foot of water and cast small jigs. He must be talking to somebody else on there. He actually helps answer questions all night long. So
He does.
He does. He helps us out. He assists from the sideline there, for sure.
Oh, he's talking about fishing the main Coosa. Yeah, guys, this time of the year, go out to that river channel ledge and have a big time.
Yeah, you know that.
About Wise.
Oh, he was answering a question about Wise. Okay.
Yeah, somebody asked a question about Wise. There it is. There's Scott D said we just got accepted to the Mercury School also.
Wow.
There you go. They going in the wave runner, in for the jet propulsion classes. Heck yeah, that's a big thing too, man. That's awesome, Scott. That's awesome.
I mentioned it at the boat dealership today, and I mean, you would think any boat dealership would want to talk to Scott maybe as like a feeder program.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Those students that are coming through there, I mean, go ahead and hook them up with a boat dealership and say, hey, you can go ahead and try this out and see what you like, and maybe you want to just see which angle they want to go, whether it's rigging, outboards, or
Oh yeah, that field's wide open, man. You know, I mean, I promise you, it's that field's wide open. Just like, I'm gonna go ahead and thank another sponsor because we're hiring a few young kids. RMC Mechanical, we're hiring some. We're actually interviewing some kids now to come out there and do some industrial contracting work with us. But we do all kinds of work from, like I said, from running airlines to running big pipe, any kind of hydraulic work. We have a 40,000 square foot fab facility, guys. We're into everything. All you got to do is get a hold of me, and I promise you, we probably do it. Or if we don't do it, somebody affiliated with us does. But we're got some young guys going to come on board with us before long, and I like to see them young guys come up and, get good work habits from some of our superintendents like Lenny and our foreman, David. And I appreciate RMC. That's my employer. So I get to do a lot of stuff that I get to do because of them. So
Wear my hat.
let's see. What's Shiloh talking about here?
Where's Shiloh? Where's Tim at tonight?
I don't know. Ain't no telling. He might be doing a trip.
Tim said it's getting tougher and tougher up there on Wise.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it is getting a little tougher. I'm sure it is, man. I guarantee you it is. Michael said Wendy's been fishing with him for years, so I guess she's on.
Come on.
Who's that?
Wendy, his wife.
Good.
Tim's probably asleep. He might be taking a nap.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say we all stay together when we go to tournaments. Tim's not usually the first one to go to sleep.
I'm still getting greased up.
Yeah, Tony's asking, is there whitefish in Wise?
Yes.
I'm sure Shiloh will jump on that.
Yes.
Yeah, there he is. There's some big whitefish in there. Shiloh's caught a bunch of them up there. Shiloh Chappelle Fishing. Y'all follow him on Facebook. You'll see it, Tony.
There's more blackfish in my opinion, on wise than there is whitefish. But
Oh yeah, for
there
sure,
is whitefish.
for sure. I'll tell you what, guys, we got 82 people on here. I'm excited about this sponsor. I'm pumped. I'm gonna share it with you guys. We
Hey,
talked about a
all right,
month
so
ago.
before you put it out there, Shane, I gotta say this.
Go ahead.
Shane told me he was getting this sponsor, and I was like, dang, for real? And we talked about it, and they ended up not having his phone number right. They'd been trying to contact
they've
him.
been Jim Nelson. Jim had been calling me and texting the wrong number. He sent me an email today. He said, "Hey man, you ain't gonna believe this." He said, "I've been sending the wrong number for a month and a half." And a friend of mine, Miller Slaughter, he's over inventory there, and he's like, "Man, I ain't like Shane. He'll get back a hold of you." But I'm happy to announce this one because let me find it down here, guys. Steyr Arms right there. I've had a Steyr my whole life, guys. If you don't know anything about their rifles, they make some of the finest rifles in the world.
They do.
I've had SSGs, 308s. I've had their tactical rifles. Man, you know, I had a discussion with Jim today. You know, back when I was younger, if somebody was your granddad was handing you down a Steyr, it was a big deal. A lot of people don't even know what Steyr Arms is all about. They're some of the finest rifles. And that's my new rifle right there on that table right there. A Steyr Scout 308, 16-inch fluted barrel. I can't wait to get that thing sighted in. But they're going to be a good supporter. In future shows, I'm going to have a dealer around here where you can go get these things. Simmons still carries them, I know. But if you ain't never held one of these guys and you're a rifle hunter, you're fixing to be shocked. Because go ahead, John.
I've got to put my hands on a lot of weapons through being in the military and being an avid hunter and growing up doing it. That action on one of those Steyrs is one of the best that you'll ever mess with.
Yeah, they're right. And the safe bolt system on them guys, I mean, this is no kidding, guys. I'm not saying this because they're one of the sponsors, but the safe bolt system on that gun, you close that bolt and lock that thing, a kid has got it's a safe bolt system for a reason. So I'm happy to announce them for sure.
That was a big get, man. I was kind of, I ain't gonna lie, I second guessed you a little bit, buddy.
Yeah, I sent it to him. He goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah."
I said, "You for real?"
Yeah, they jumped on board. I met with them today, and we would have had them a month ago. But I will say this about John and Jessica and I. Y'all can write this down. If anybody sponsors this show or we use their product, they make good stuff. It's not junk. We're not just doing it to try to grow the show. I mean, those are good. You know, good quality. Steve's at Lemons Tackle, Outlaw Rods, Lost Creek Custom Rods,
Power Brakes.
Yeah, I got to thank them in just a little bit. They're just good stuff, you know. We're not going to use junk. So
I've got a story to tell about Power Brakes.
Yeah, we will. Let's see. I'm trying to think if we missing anything. We thank all these sponsors, guys. We get to do all this because of them, guys. You know, we got our goals to try to get 10 sponsors. We're up to 7 now, and which is great. You know, I've always got Alpha Plumbing. One call, I do stuff for them. They've been taking care of friends of mine for the last couple of weeks, guys. You got to have honest plumber. You got to have an honest air conditioning guy. I mean, that's John's got some down in his area down in Andalusia. You just got to have them because those two kind of people right there can cost you some money if you don't know somebody. I promise you. Let's see. We thank them. Let me make sure I don't want to miss anybody. So, because
I want to say a little quick thing about the Power Brakes.
Go ahead, buddy. We'll thank them right now. You go ahead.
Yeah. So I've been kicking around, you know, how I wanted to do my Power Brakes.
Right.
My boat. I knew I wanted them, but I didn't want to give up having my power poles, my paddles.
Right.
Because sometimes we get in areas, and if you've ever fished somewhere where there's a lot of boat traffic and you've got power poles with paddles, you can let those paddles down and it'll stabilize your boat left or right more than it would be without them up.
That's right.
So I got to thinking about that, and Jessica and I were talking about it. I was like, I don't want to give up those paddles. So I called and I talked to them there at Power Brakes, and I said, I want them. I said, but I don't want to give up my power poles and my paddles. He said, no problem. He said, we'll just put them on the outside. And Zeke Anderson had the exact same setup.
Yep.
Zeke put his on the outside. So what I want to be able to do is not have my power brakes deployed and still be able to use my power poles, my paddles. It's going to be
That's
a
right.
lot at the back of my boat. Don't get me wrong. But so if I want to deploy my power brakes and put them on the outside and use them when I'm not in a bunch of timber or something
Right.
about tearing them up, I can. But they have a breakaway if you do run into something.
That's
but I'm
right.
still, I don't want to run those props into something and constantly be breaking something. So I called them. I sent them some pictures, and they're like, no problem. We're gonna work with you. So bottom line up front about it, they will work with you whatever.
Oh yes, Shad Clifton, man, especially
he worked with me and went above and beyond, and mine are going to be on the way tomorrow, and y'all, you don't realize what it means. Like when you tell somebody what you really want, and they want to go above and beyond to make you happy. And
exactly.
That's what it means.
Yeah, I mean, I ran the crap out of him in Mississippi, guys, when I was out there in open water, because John's way better at that open water fishing than I am, and I had to use them. I mean, I promise you, I was turning left and right and trying to catch up with fish, and I had to use them. And I'm pretty tough on equipment, and they're easy to pull in and out. I had guys fishing with me, and they just jump back there and pull them right up. But power brakes, we'll have some information about it. Mike Hill was asking, he want to see a picture of them. Mike, I'll try to get a picture of Zeke's boat, because they say it's on the Power Brakes Facebook page, Mike.
I was reaching for my phone, but it's here we're talking on. Mike, when we get off here, I'm making a note right now to send you. I've got a picture of Zeke's boat, and I just don't want to give those paddles, and that was my whole.
No,
thing.
You already invested a lot of money on the paddles, and you used to using them, so
And it wasn't just that; it was I don't know, just different scenarios. I could see where I wanted to have both.
Right.
I'm not going to use both at the same time, and I don't think that you can. And I took so many pictures and sent them. And he said, no, we're not going to be able to put them on the inside. We're going to put them on the outside. And then I said, I still want to do this. I still want to do that. No problem. No problem. No problem. We went through all that. Now they're getting ordered.
Yeah, there's your buddy Cliff. If you was going to put brakes on your boat, who would you use? I'm looking for crappie brakes at Sea Light. Cliff, they make good stuff too, but I went with the power brakes because they got the breakaway system in them.
That's right.
I can send you a picture. That breakaway's got a Carter key in it, Cliff. So when that shaft hits something, that key will shear, and you can put a new key in it. When if the hole gets swallowed out, if you break them off several times, you can always drill a little bigger, put a bigger key in it. So they got a 2-year warranty. I mean, who gives you that? I mean, it's hard to beat, Cliff. I can get you in touch with Chad. You can message me, buddy, or I'll give John the number or whatever you want to do. But I haven't had any trouble out of mine. So
I have went all over his, inspecting them. Yeah, I was looking at Shane Stone. I was like, what about this? What about this?
Yeah. But the good thing is they don't weigh. I think that whole setup weighs about 15, 16 pounds. It don't weigh. It's not a lot. And the good thing about it, guys, those are 30-pound Endura trolling motors. If you actually tear a trolling motor, you can go to Walmart and buy one. Look who's on here, Eric Cagle. He said, boy, y'all ugly.
Boy, is he looking in the mirror lately.
There he is. We spent all weekend with old Eric, man. He takes care of us, dude. You wonder why Eric's booked all the darn time. Go over there with him. You'll understand. It ain't about catching fish. He's just enjoyable to be around. He's going to be on your rear end a little bit, but, hey, that's part of it. It's fun.
Hey, and we ate good.
Golly, we ate good. We ate good all weekend, and, man, I enjoyed Eric. And, I'll tell y'all a story about Eric, guys. We went to Enid, and he was down there on the trip. He said, hey, man, y'all just come over here. And I seen Patrick Stone, Jameson Carr, Eric Cagle. I could have hit them with a jig, and we're all catching fish, and we're having fun. They've got some clients. They're trying to catch their last 3 or 4 fish, and I'm trying to catch my 10th one. But they took care of us all weekend, guys. That's what crappie fishing's about, man. It was fun. But Eric Cagle, seeing them guys service, if you can get a trip with him and go stay at the Slabbing Cabin, you better book it now, because I guarantee you they're booking well into next year, because that place is nice. Hey, Eric said he ate your gumbo. Looky
Thank
there.
you, buddy.
Yeah, he did drop some. I remember you dropped some off.
Thank you, buddy.
That's
I'm
all.
glad
I
you
seen
enjoyed it.
Eric and them smashed them again today. So
Eric loves gumbo, so whenever we cross paths, I always try to take him a quart of gumbo.
yep. Oh, Brandon Lutz said he ordered some. Yeah. Eric gets on here and. Hey man, like I said, you sit around and listen to him and Stone and all them. You better listen to your ears. Them people fish. Them guys, fish every day, man. I mean, they've got people in the boat with them. And me and Eric had a conversation. There's a little bit of anxiety, when you're fishing, even as good as Eric is, because you got to put people on fish. And
I want to talk about something right quick, Shane. That
go ahead, bud.
People don't realize. People go out there and look on Facebook and see these guides that are guiding on Grenada and Enid and those lakes in Mississippi, and they're like, man, they're just busting those fish. I mean, I need to get over there and do the same thing. Let me tell you something. You better get ready for the next level, because over there those fish get more pressure.
They do, and
they're not easy to catch always, and sometimes they are. But those guys that are guiding over there and doing that all the time, and they're the ones that are done every morning before 10 a.m.
Yeah, they're working their ass off. I mean, ain't no doubt.
They got two limits, and they're working with two people that might not be experienced fishermen or fisherwomen. That's badass. There's no other way to put it. I mean, once you go over there and experience it,
oh yeah,
you go over there like, man, I bust fish on my lake up. When you get over there to Mississippi and you fish Grenada and you fish Enid, and it'll make you respect what Eric Cagle and Patrick Stone.
Oh yeah. That's
all those boys do, because they're day in and day out. They're going over there and they're busting fish up, and you go over there and you're like, golly.
Yeah, the first time I went last June, I went over there and stayed with Eric right there next to Eric, and we actually ate. And I went there and he said, "Hey Jones, you seen any fish?" I said, "Man, I seen a bunch of carp, going in the boat." He goes, "Did you see their tail?" I was like, "Huh?" He said, "Did you see a V in their tail?" I said, "No." He said, "You dummy." He said, "You know how many big crappie you went on the boat?" And I'm not exaggerating when I say I let 30 or 40 go on the boat, because I was like, "Are you kidding me?" He said, "No, man, they fill up that block." And I was like, "Oh, so this is a whole different level, guys." Like Eric's saying, I said, "Man, why did fish run the bottom?" He said, "Heck, they're trying to get away from you, man." Like,
yeah.
I mean, they get pressure, guys. There's guides out there, and there's people that like us over there just fun fishing, and you better be on your A game over there. It's not exactly the way it is. So.
You going from fishing your lake, and this fish got a kindergarten education to some scholars over there in Mississippi, because this fish.
Oh yeah. And the risk and reward over there, because you can catch a lot bigger fish. Those fish we caught, guys, thanks to Eric and another friend of mine that guides over there, all those fish have to be over 12 inches. So, I mean, you got to catch a nice fish. We threw a bunch of shorts back, but that was a fun trip. You get over there in these nice cleaning stations they got, man. I wish we had something like that in Alabama, but I don't ever think we'll ever get something like that. But that was dang nice, buddy.
It's all those guide fees paying for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guide license. They're paying for the cleaning station.
Eric showed me he had to buy his guide license, and woo, man, that hurt your feelings, man.
Man.
I swear it's political, and I hate to get into all that stuff. But.
Well, it is, but guys, in the future, if you're going over to Mississippi, you're gonna have to fish with a guide that has a license. They're having to pay $2,000.
$2,033. I've seen it.
To get a guide license, those guys that are taking people out fishing over there, and so those people that you're going with, you need to realize it's costing them a good bit of money to take you. So be good to them.
Yeah, man. Y'all, hey, tip them guys. But you don't realize 5 years ago, me and Shane Welch went out with Eric, and I think I went out with him 3 or 4 times. And we might have spent $1,200 between both of us. But you got to realize how much that got me ahead of the game. You know what I mean? Because once you see a professional, Eric is a pro. That's what he does. He's a crappie pro. I'm not kissing his butt, but that's what he is. He guides for a living and fishes tournaments. You get to watch somebody like that and fish and catch fish. You would pick up a little bit each trip, until you get your own. You can apply those tactics to where you fish. It's really, you don't want to go chasing somebody else's fish. you want to say, okay, I see how he's approaching this fish. I see how he's approaching how to find these fish. You know, talking to John, since I met John, you know, at the Crappie Masters, you know, he shared a bunch of stuff with me. John gets on the water a good bit himself, you know, so I've had a lot of fun, you know, just learning stuff like that.
Shane, my buddy Greg gave me hell today. I was at the boat dealership, and he said, I've been counting. He said, you missed a day today, didn't you? I said, I did. He said, well, that was 6 out of 6 that you had fished. He said, today you would have had a straight week of every day on the water. And I don't think of it like that. I just wake up in the morning and I'm mad at them.
There you go. Well,
you know, I want to go see if they're thinking about me like I'm thinking about them.
There you go.
And, but man, if you can go do it, go. You know, you're not going to learn it sitting on the couch.
There's only so many YouTube videos and stuff. Now, that's why we created this show too, because, you know, we created this show to share tips and stuff to help you. These are just tactics that we use, and hopefully you can apply them on the water. You know, people's always asking me questions. How do I know it's a crappie? Hey, catch the thing, you know, put it in the boat. Then you know.
Well, let's talk about something that I think is really important for this time of year.
Go ahead, John.
Having problems. All right, so I got to thinking about. I was on the boat yesterday, and while Shane and I were out in Mississippi, we were throwing 1/8 ounce jigs. We had some wind, and we had some wind, and the fish were moving. We had some depth, so we were throwing 1/8 ounce jigs. I rarely do that at home. If I can get away with it, I'm staying on the 16th. And anyway, if I can get away at 32 ounce, I throw it. So here at home, we fish a lot of brush piles, a lot of stumps. And what I like to do is, if I can throw out far enough and get it right to that brush pile, that stump, and if it's a big enough one, I like to try to stall that bait out just above it. Just get it low enough where that fish can see it, and it can go ahead and do what it wants to do. Because if you got black crappie, they'll sit there and they'll want to look at. Well, if you're reeling it, bringing it back to the boat, they'll follow it. And a lot of times, if you can stall that bait out right above that brush pile, one of them might come up and just go ahead and pop it. But if you're bringing it across, a lot of times it's moving. But if you can stop that bait, if it's a small enough jig head, 16, 30 seconds, you can just stall it out and let that fish go ahead and say, let me attack it. He's using less energy, in my opinion, and a lot of times that's why to go ahead and do it. And a lot of these brush piles we have at home, they'll have 30 to 100 fish on at one time. So one of them, their head space and timing might be right at the time and say, oh, let me go ahead and get this. I say that all the time. Everybody, my wife gets mad at me when she gets mad. So, baby, I think your head space and timing might be off or something like that. Anyway,
when we were fishing Monday, John, you know, I told you I got a big school of big fish. I couldn't get them to take my bait, and I threw in that school and I just stayed with them, let my bait fall with them. Finally, I felt some tension. They never hit it. I just felt some tension. So
that head space and timing joke goes back to setting a. I wonder who will know what that goes back to setting. I'll give you a clue. A ma deuce. There's so many military guys on here talking about head space and timing and setting a ma deuce.
Ma deuce.
Yeah. There'll be somebody on here that's been in the military and knows what that is.
Heck yeah. Let's see what James Trott. Look, that James Trott's making a comment. He said, I'm very surprised at how friendly this crappie community is. Y'all have helped me so much, man. Hey, we just sharing information, James. You know, I'm through you do the same with us, buddy.
We're trying to flip every bass fisherman over to the crappie world.
Amen.
We're not mean.
I think James is talking about Todd Huckabee. So why does Todd Huckabee use a 1/4 ounce jig? He drops it on them, but he can do it up there in Oklahoma on those big fish.
Yeah, those big whitefish, you can drop it on them.
Yeah, you got to realize, James, there's those big whitefish they're catching, them big fat things. They're used to that. These blackfish down here turn their nose up. Now in the wintertime, I've caught them on 1/4 ounces. So they were throwing some quarters at Enid, you know.
Yeah, I can't make it like some of the places I've been. You throw something that heavy in there, they're gonna like spook.
Yeah, it splashes so heavy.
There's not a very nice way to throw a 1/4 ounce and make it land pretty at a distance.
No, man. No. I got one more sponsor to thank before I'm checking them off as I go. CT Ward, old Taylor and Jessica Ward. The road's back open in front of their place, thank goodness. They're getting some more boat traffic in there. But they sell at sales, center console, side console. He's got an inventory like you wouldn't believe. Hustler Lawnmowers, he's pushing those things big time right now. They got a deal on them. Godfrey Pontoons, their service work is great. Yamaha, Mercury, they service anything you got. Live Scope, Trolling Motors. Hey, just call Taylor. He's easy to deal with, guys, and order what you want. If you got any questions or need the phone number, I have it right there. But they're good people to deal with, man. I've enjoyed them they've been with us since day one.
Hey, Shane,
Yeah.
Stephen Rudolph's he's watching right now.
Good.
I tell you, we've been bragging on the slabbing cabin.
Oh Lord, yeah, man, that place. I told him if I hit the lottery, I'd show. I had to come over there. He said,
"Hey, Shane, go ahead and tell everybody you said if you hit the lottery, what are we gonna have?"
Yeah, Winnebagos and a Gator Tracks with a 500 on it.
500.
I see Steven's boat. I said, I'm gonna say Gator Tracks. Can you build me a boat with 500 on it?
And I told Shane, I said we're gonna have like a little blinking light pointing towards it says 500.
Yes. Oh man. Let's see what Robin Hunt from Kentucky. Appreciate you tuning in, buddy. Do you prefer hair jigs or plastic? He fished Kentucky Lake, Mississippi a lot.
If I can I go whatever I can get away with. Plastic is cheap. Plastics are so much cheaper. If you can get away with them, throw the heck out of the plastics. If they want to be stingy and eat a hair jig, start throwing a hair jig.
I've had Robin a couple of trips ago. I had some muddy water on a flat off the main river and at the Alabama River. And I had to slow that bait down, but I wanted to keep a bigger profile, so I threw a black and chartreuse hair jig or Ruben Flores, and I had to float it in there on them. Now I probably could have took a long rod and put some plastic in there and probably caught it, but I just floated that hair jig through there and caught some nice fish. But there's certain situations for it. But like John said, if I can get them to eat plastic, I'm throwing plastic.
Yeah, especially when you go to shooting like boathouses and stuff or docks, whatever you're doing. It is a lot cheaper to shoot plastics than hair jigs because it gets expensive. I mean, we tie our own hair jigs, so it's a little bit less expensive, but it's a lot easier to shoot plastic.
Yeah, it is. Holden's asking about the shirts, guys. These are SPF 50 shirts. Let me tune this thing down. They're not cheap, I'll be honest with you, but these are just as nice as any Hook shirt you're going to buy, a Costa. I mean, it's got the CrappieKast logo. They're going to be $40, $45 is what I'm guessing. They run kind of small. I put a 2X on it, look like skin on a weenie. So
Shane gonna tell me you probably need a 2X. I said, hell, I don't need no 2X. You better get.
I had to buy. This is a 3X, so they run kind of small. I'm not saying they're athletic or slim fit, but I'll have them out before long, guys. I only ordered a few of them to see how they turn out, and I got to get Jessica one and John one, so we're working on that right now. But I like these shirts with the hoods when it's hot, and they don't, they dry. They're quick dry. These are SPF 50s, but I hope to get them out, man. Man, that hour flew by. Man, it gets faster and faster Mike Hill's saying he has a video on mypowerbreaks.com with the poles both installed. So,
oh, thank you.
Good deal, Mike. Thank you. He was asking about it. So.
He said Zeke does. I was going to send him a picture of it, but okay.
Yeah, Destin's got a shirt. D. Robertson's got one. He was in the yard today. I gave him one. So he said it's Destin. They're nice shirts. D's saying they're nice. When he was working on the plumbing here, we fixed it. Let's see what here. Waylon Meyer, if you guys.
Well, that's my neighbor.
Oh, okay. He said, if you guys an Alabama female crappie fishing lady of the year, it's better to fish with fiberglass or aluminum boat. Good question, Waylon.
Ooh, that's for you.
There you go.
Waylon's asking, do you rather fish out of aluminum boat or a fiberglass boat? Fiberglass? We don't have ours aluminum.
never done it. We'll try it.
She said never fished out of a fiberglass boat. She wants to fish out of one.
Well, go
well,
ahead and explain. There's different situations. Go ahead and explain to her. Hey, somebody else may want to know, John.
Shane, we're kind of rough on boats.
We're very rough on boats.
Very
Waylon,
rough.
we don't do pretty stuff. Pretty Rangers, man, they're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. They're pretty.
Here's a piece of. This is just one piece of timber, and the places that we go and the things we do. If you run that boat up on there and you got a little bit of wind, it just lands on that thing. That aluminum, you ain't got to worry about it popping or cracking that glass hull. If you get in a little of this and that glass boat lands,
oh yeah,
it could be bad.
My War Eagle has very high ribs, and I'm blessed for those because I get on top of stumps all the time fishing the Alabama River. You know, it depends on if you're. I
mean, any boat can be damaged, but I'm saying if you're going to go up and stuff and just really abuse it, I'm not. There is a lot of people that want to go fast and want to go rough. I guess I'd say that are going to aluminum boats. The Express boat line that I run an Express.
That's right.
And there's more and more bass fishermen going to Express. If you'll start watching some of the big bass tournaments, there's some guys that are running them and they're doing the skinnier ones to get up in places other people can't go, and they're going up in stuff and they're abusing those boats, but they know they'll take it. So,
that's right. Well, that's why Shiloh's getting that gorilla hole on his fiberglass boat. That's exactly what he's doing.
That's right.
You know, and
Shiloh, he knocked a hole in his boat, and what's the commercial? The Flex. Oh,
Flex
Shiloh is a living testament for Flex Seal. He had a piece of Flex Seal on his boat that lasted forever.
And good for him. Hey, he needs him as a sponsor.
I'm telling you right now, they could have done a commercial with him. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some of the Tim Pentecost son, he did some patchwork job on it, but Flex Seal also contributed to Shiloh being a fish the latter part of the year.
That's awesome. Yeah, let's see. Stephen Tucker, first time tuning in is a joy. Listen, thank you for tuning in, buddy.
Hey, Stephen. Hey, he bought some electronics from us. Stephen. Hey, Stephen's got a funny video out there, guys. If y'all ever want to see a lady being ugly about you fishing a dock, go look at Stephen's video. It's pretty funny. This lady was so mean to him, and all he was doing was just fishing.
Yeah, I think I've seen that video. Was he at Logan Martin or somewhere?
Yeah, he was.
I remember seeing that. I've never seen that, man. People are funny, man. You just, like I said, I don't pay no mind to no people like that. I'm gonna give a shout out to Stephen. If you ever need some dock work done or any construction work done up like around Lay Lake in that area, yeah,
Stephen's in the business.
Okay, Stephen's in. Okay, good deal.
Yeah, Stephen Tucker. Yeah, look him up.
He needs a shirt.
Yeah, he does. He worked on Ray Morris's seawall. Yeah.
Yeah, Ray was on here earlier.
Yeah.
Let's see, seawalls. There he is. Hey, man, plug yourself on there, Stephen. That's what this show is about, buddy. Don't be scared to plug something in there. There's somebody hunting some dock work or a seawall that's affiliated with this show. I promise you.
And think about Stephen is he's done enough of them. He knows all the ins and outs.
Right. What not to do. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what this show is about, guys. It is a sharing community. This is a huge network. When I met with Steyer today, that was his number one thing. He said, hey, man, I need to expand my network. You know, the blue collar people, like, you know, retired military people, plumbers, electricians, heating and air, steel workers, welders, you know, auto mechanics, boat mechanics. We all fish, and it's a big network of people. And, you know, it's one of the largest networks they are as far as blue collar people and, you know, sharing fishing stuff. So that's what this show is about. It's going to continue to grow. It can't help but grow when you got good people making comments, and we try to be good to people as we can and try to answer everybody. And I try to John's the same way. I try to answer all messages, text messages. I try to, during the day if I can. If not, I'll tell them, hey, when I get home, I'll get back with you. But that's what we started all this stuff for, man. And we try to represent our sponsors as well as we can because we use their products. So, like John was saying about power brakes, I called the guy and I ordered them and paid. I bought them pre-order, so I got a little bit of deal on them. Then all of a sudden he was like, hey, man, what would it take to be, to sponsor the show? We had a conversation and it was easy transition because I'm already doing business with him. So
before we get off here, I want to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart.
Go ahead, buddy.
Dick McMillan.
Oh yeah.
South Alabama every year has a kids crappie tournament.
Yep. When is it, John? It's coming up.
It is August the 12th.
That's right.
All right. Last year, Dick had, I want to say it was around 70 kids. Every kid that came and showed up to the crappie tournament got a fishing pole, got a tackle box, or something. The kids did not leave without a smile on their face or something. They got a tackle box, a fishing pole, something. And some of they gave away a utility trailer. One year before last, one of my friend's daughter won the utility trailer. It was like
I'll get with Dip. You get with Dip, and we'll put his information on here because it's coming up. That'll be here before you know it.
So when I say that, when I talk about this kids tournament, if you're someone that can donate something, a gift, a donation, or anything to this kids tournament, what Dip's doing down there at Hubbard's Landing in South Alabama for kids wanting to get into fishing is amazing.
Yeah, right.
You can go back and look at Dippy Outdoors and just see what the kids, the smiles on their faces when they show up. I mean, we got people cooking jambalaya. They got shaved ice for the kids at the tournament. And this year, Jessica and I, we're not going to fish the tournament. We're going to take kids back and forth from the ramp that didn't necessarily have somebody to take them in the tournament to fish. We're just going to take them out and let them catch a fish. If you could do that, that'd be worth its weight in gold. Just come take a kid fishing.
That's right. Yeah, like I said, if you want to donate some fishing rods or
fishing rod, lures,
anything,
jigs.
You're a kid, it doesn't matter, jigs or anything. We'll share it because I'm big on that too.
Yeah,
D. Robinson's going to jump in here, so he said count him in, Don. He said getting the info. So D. Robinson from Alpha Plumbing. He's blessed like the rest of us, and he don't mind jumping in on something so fast. So I appreciate D.
Have provided and been to it. We provided for the past couple of years, and we went last year. This year, we're going to help cook, take kids out fishing.
I'll make plans to be there. I don't think I have anything booked. I need to have my butt down there too. So
we're going to share it. So Shane, let's just go ahead and plan on sharing it multiple times.
Yeah. So we got till August the 12th. So August the 12th, Freddie Hawkins is asking right there. So
okay, it's Dippy Outdoors, DIPPI Outdoors.
Big Daddy may be on here. He may share it on here before we can.
Yeah, Big Daddy will have it on there.
He'll have it on there before we can. He's still listening. So.
And Shane and I will share it multiple times between now and August 12th, and we won't have as much participation with that because, these kids need to get off the video games and be out there in the water.
You don't realize, guys, there's less guys showing them fishing and stuff as far as a whole. The percentage is way down. And it's my mom used to tell me when I went to Walmart, she'd always buy me a lure or something. She said fishing lures are a lot cheaper than rehab. And she had a point, because it kept me out of trouble because if I was in trouble, I didn't get to go fishing, guys. So,
Man, this went by so quickly tonight.
This hour and 15 minutes. These shows are getting better because of you guys asking great questions. And, and Scott, Shiloh, I hope I said his right name. Shiloh Chappelle. I always mess it up. And, we got people like Scott D sharing information, and CT Ward and Illusion Marine, One Call Heating and Air, all our sponsors. Steyer come on board. Like I said, man, it's just fun. There it is right there. Big Daddy's got the link right there. We'll be sharing it. I'm gonna be down there too, so I'm gonna get involved in that because I don't have any kids, but I like to see kids have fun. So. Sure do, man. Let's wrap this show up, guys. We can still have 65 people on here, John. It's an hour and 15 minutes.
That's amazing,
man. I appreciate y'all guys, man, big time. John's going to I got trips at Miller's Ferry and may go to Demopolis, and John's headed to Seminole Saturday, right? Early Saturday morning. Right. We'll have some fishing reports. There's I'm sure James Trott and Shiloh may make it in somebody's boat, and Tim may have a fishing report, and all these guys from Arkansas and Kentucky, man, I appreciate y'all. Y'all spread the word. If you got some questions or you got some products you use, whatever, hey, get on here and share it, man. That's what this thing's all about.
Well, Shane, we need to kick this around in the future. We might start doing like a regional report, have them, our guys send it in, like Shiloh, what's going on that week, and Trott, he's up there at Logan Martin. Maybe get Tony Adams for over at Eufaula.
Just kind of get everything, because a lot of these guys, that's right, I forgot, the boat races are in Demopolis this weekend. That I had fun. I went to a couple of years ago, so they have it right there at the city landing. It is fun to watch. So that city landing, guys, if you want to see your tax dollars at work, go to that landing in Demopolis. It is unreal. Nice, one of the nicest launches you'll ever see. I appreciate you bringing that up, Donnie. Thank you. Travis said I'm putting out steak Sunday. All right, guys. We'll be back next Thursday. In the meantime, you got any questions, John or myself, we'll try to answer them. Y'all messages. You need to get in touch with Power Breaks or any other sponsors. Like I said, the Steyr came on board tonight, and I'm going to have a dealer for y'all before long where these guns are going to be besides Simmons. And y'all need to put one in your hand because they're fine rifles, and I'm glad to bring them on board. And like I said, I've had one my whole life. So appreciate you guys. John, stay on here. See you guys next Thursday, and we'll see y'all during the week. Old Miller, drives my buddy. See you, Carnell, Big Daddy, Donnie, Destin. I got to ship your shirt out in the morning, Destin. Appreciate you guys.